Hi everybody, this is Dr. Bricker here with an intro video for EAS 120, Fall 2025. I just kind of want to show you where everything's at, go over the syllabus. So if you've logged into Brightspace, you'll see something that looks similar to this. You might actually have an announcement by the time you're looking at it. So the content area is where most things are located, so let me go there. And over here on the left, you see syllabus, bookmarks, course schedule. So we're going to go over the syllabus in just a minute. Bookmarks and course schedule, that's completely for you to use. Other things over here, mastering geography, that's where you'll see the e-text, other links in there. We'll talk about that in a minute. Start here, intro video, week 1. So the class will be broken up by weeks. And week 1 will have things like PowerPoint video, different videos for you, link to the homework, link to a quiz, that sort of thing. But let's take a look at the syllabus to begin with. Okay, so here you see the syllabus. This is EAS 120 again, Intro to Geography, Fall 2025. My name is Dr. Glenn Bricker. I'm in Westville most of the time, Schwartz 307, so if you're around Westville, you could stop in and say hello. Best way to get in contact with me is through email, so just shoot me an email. It is an online class, so probably that's the way you'll talk to me. We could set up some sort of Zoom meeting, whatever you want to do. Prerequisites are Math 111 or Math 115 with the C or better, so there is a little bit of math involved. We'll talk about how to access the book in a minute, but it's Elemental Geosystems with Modified Mastering. So with the textbook, it's an e-text that comes with the homework. So you can't just buy a hardcover copy of the book. You won't have access to the homework if you do that. So it's an e-text with the homework, and again, in just a minute, we can talk about that. Educational outcomes. It's designed to provide a brief intro to the Earth science, including the following geoscience subjects. So Earth science, so geology, you'll see some geology, oceanography, atmospheric science, astronomy, so really how the Earth works, different systems of the Earth, and a little bit with astronomy as well. Okay, so I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. You're going to learn a lot about the Earth. So it's not just looking at a map and trying to figure out where a certain city is located. It's systems of the Earth. So Elemental Geosystems is actually the name of the book. Okay, you can take a look through here. Content objectives, develop an understanding of characteristics of the history and different processes of the Earth. So really it's a class about processes of the Earth. Okay, interconnection between the Earth and these processes. Human effects on Earth processes related to environmental issues, and also examining the Earth science topics of relevance, including energy, environmental, and natural hazards related to all these different processes. So as we go through the semester, you'll see things like, well, we're going to talk about oceans maybe for a week, and then rivers, and then volcanic activity, meteorology, all these different sort of things you're going to come across in this class. Okay? Good. So it's learning really all about the Earth and different processes of the Earth. Here's some resources for you. University students encounter setbacks from time to time. These are different resources for you. Maybe you'll remember these are all in the syllabus for EAS 120 if you come across the need for any of these. They're all here in a nice form for you. So National Suicide Prevention Hotline, you can take a look at that. Here's some information about accessibility. You can visit the DAC website for that too. Mental health and wellness, all these different phone numbers for you and places you can take a look for that. Even basic needs, food security. Here's some information for you for this. Veterans, information for that. Academic support, writing center, tutoring. So all these resources are here for you. You've paid for them, really. You've paid your tuition. This comes along with it. So just know that those are there. Maybe you'll never call any of these numbers. Maybe you will. Okay. Different university policies. Okay, so here's a link you can click there and go through all the different university policies, non-discrimination, academic integrity, all those sort of things. Homework policy, homework assignments are available through Mastering Geography, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute, which is through Brightspace. So you've got to have that software. Okay, in a minute you'll see homework is 10% of your overall grade, so make sure you do the homework. It will help you with the quizzes and the tests. Okay, so this is an online asynchronous class, so you work at your own pace, but there are deadlines, so you can't just skip 4 weeks. You'll have missed several quizzes and homeworks and things like that. But during the week, you can work at your own pace. You know what the deadlines are. You have probably a work schedule, so you could work this around your work schedule. Okay, but keep in mind there are deadlines that you have to keep up with. Okay, good. So I can see, how when you log in, how much time you spend online and things like that too. So keep that in mind. Here's the grading policy. There are 4 exams throughout the semester. We have nearly weekly quizzes and weekly homework assignments. Okay, so here's the grading scheme. If you get a 93 to 99, you'll get an A. If you get 100%, you get an A plus, A minus, 90 to 92, and so forth all the way down the line here. If a whole bunch of people have about an 89.3, I might make that an A minus. So this is as rigorous as it would possibly be. It could be relaxed a little bit from this. Okay, so here are some important due dates coming up. Exam 1, September 28th. Remember, everything's online. Exam 2, the 26th of October, November 16th, December 17th. So there's no cumulative final. There's just these 4 tests throughout the semester. And the 4th test is actually during finals week, but it just covers the last 4th or so of the class. Quizzes 10% overall, homework 10%. Okay, so you've got that all laid out for you. You can take a look at it. Makeup exam policy, late homework policy. No extra credit assignments will be given. Make sure that you complete all your course materials. Now, if something comes up, maybe your internet happens to go out, or you completely spaced something off, let me know at the time, or, very soon after. Don't tell me in 2 weeks, hey, I missed exam 1, I need to make it up, because that's not going to happen. Keep me in the loop, but I am aware that things do occur. It's an online class. Maybe you got a new computer and you got locked out of it. Whatever the reason is, just keep me in the loop and I can work with you on that. There are due dates for homework as well. So if your homework is 1 day late, you miss 10%. It's 10% off of the questions that you didn't do. 2 days late, 20% off. 3 days late, 30%. 4 days late for a homework assignment, 40% off. 50% after 5 days. And it never gets any lower than 50%. So you could have forgotten to do half of homework 1. You remember in 2 weeks, you can go back and get half credit for that. Okay, good. So it is an online class. You have to have web availability. An excuse is, sorry, I don't have web availability. I can't do anything. That doesn't work. You have to. It's an online class. So either at home or on campus, wherever, you have to have access to the web to be able to do this class. So everything is delivered through Brightspace. Okay, what else do we have here? Internet and email. So best way to contact me is through email. If there's some kind of campus-wide emergency, that's how I'll get in contact with you. During the 12th week of class, you'll also be able to do some evaluations, so keep that in mind. You'll be getting emails from the administration during the 12th week of class. Okay, and then here's the schedule. It's broken down by weeks. First week, Intro and Chapter 1, Essentials of Geography. So you have your first homework and your first quiz. I believe the quiz is actually available starting Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'll have that amount of time. Once you start the quiz, you got to finish it, but you could start it. You could do it on Thursday, you could do it on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Okay, I think it's like 18 questions, and I'll send out another announcement prior to that. And then you have the first homework assignment. So I would recommend do the homework first and then do the quiz. And then next week we get into solar energy, seasons, and the atmosphere. So that's Chapter 2, Homework 2 and Quiz 2. Same kind of idea there. Week 3, Week 4. So atmospheric energy, atmospheric ocean, circulations, water. So you can kind of see the subjects we're going through. And then Week 5 is kind of a busy week. Homework 5, Quiz 5, and also Exam 1. Okay, and all this stuff is online, and I'll be providing more information when these things get closer in time. So that's the first quarter of the class, basically. And then we get into water resources, climate regions, climate change. So Week 7 is a little bit of a busy week because you're actually doing 2 chapters during Week 7. Okay, and then there's Homework 7, Quiz 7. Okay, actually it's going to be, I think, homework 7A and homework 7B, but more specifics about that later. And then quiz 7 here is a little bit longer because it's over 2 chapters. The dynamic planet, chapter 10, tectonics, earthquakes, volcanism. So again, you can kind of see what the class is over just by looking at the topic that we're covering. All these different processes concerning the Earth. Okay, and then you have exam 2. Class is about halfway over. It's fall. It's getting cooler outside. Week 10, we begin we transition to November. Weathering, mass movements, and then chapter 12, river systems, ocean, coastal systems, glacial landscapes. So all these cool things that I think you're going to really like. We've got some neat videos that go along with it. Same kind of idea. We've got a quiz and a homework every week, and then exam 3 is going to be due by November 16th. And then last quarter of the class coming up here. Glacial landscapes, homework 13, quiz 13. Thanksgiving break, complete week off. You don't have to do anything during Thanksgiving break. And then geography of soils, week 15. And then week 16, ecosystem, essentials, biogeography. So these actually go really close together. Homework 15 and quiz 15. And then during finals week, that's 15th, 16th, and 17th, you can take exam 4. It's not longer than any of the other exams. It's just over the last quarter of the class. Okay, so that's the tentative schedule. Hopefully we'll stick to it pretty rigorously. I don't really see it changing much unless there's some major development. Okay, let's go back to Brightspace then. Okay, so when you click Mastering Geography here, this is what pops up. So Mastering Geography is where you'll be able to access the e-text. There's something called the study area, which has additional quizzes, things like that. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. And then access Pearson codeless. So you don't need a code for this. It's codeless. It's something new they're trying. Hopefully it's going to work out. We'll see how it goes. You know how technology is sometimes. But the first time you go through this, you'll have to hit this access Pearson codeless. And you'll have to probably provide your Pearson login. So this is different than your P&W login. Your Pearson login, if you ever had anything like Mastering Chemistry, My Math Lab, anything from Pearson, you already have one of these logins, and you can just provide it here. And then it'll let you access all the rest of the Pearson stuff. If you've never had one, you have to create a Pearson account, which just amounts to providing an email and a password. Okay, so probably most people already have a Pearson account from your academic career. If not, you'll have to create one. Now, if you have not opted out of the flat fee, this should give you access to the e-text and all the homework right away. So if you remember, you, I think, pay $299 a semester, and you get all the instructional materials included for that price, unless you opt out. So if you opt out, you're going to have to actually pay for this. So once you hit Access Pearson Codeless, if it asks you to actually pay for this, that must mean that you've opted out. You'll have to buy it directly from Pearson. That's the least expensive way of doing it, so I recommend doing that. So it'll ask you to enter some payment information. Again, this is all if you have opted out. If you look at towards the bottom of the page, it'll let you have access for 14 days or something like that for free. It's a little tiny link, so you look for it on the page. If you don't have the funds right away, you can do that. Again, that's all if you have opted out. If you have not opted out, it should be seamless. It's not going to ask you to pay or anything like that. Okay, so once you do that, you can access the e-text. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. Okay, so let me actually now do it. Pearson e-text. And this is where the book is. And it's opening up. In a minute, I'll show you, like in the week 1 module, there is there's PowerPoint you can take a look at, a chapter summary. I recommend reading through the chapters as well. So you've got a lot of different ways of approaching this information. But this is what the book looks like. A little slow loading here. It looks like I was in chapter 12 last time, but table of contents, essentials of geography. So you can take a look through here. different like key reading concepts, things like that. So all these things that you're going to be reading about or studying in this class are really interesting. So I think you're going to get a lot out of it. The book is pretty well written at this point. So I guess I recommend you can take a look at the PowerPoints. The PowerPoints don't have as much information as the chapters, so definitely read the chapters. And we can go back and take a look at what these different weekly modules look like. So let's actually do that. Okay, so I'm going back to the class now. Well, first of all, what else is in this Mastering Geography module? There's something called the study area. So this is just additional information for you. You may never look at the study area, although I recommend that you do look at it. It has a whole bunch of other information that goes along with the book, so you've paid for it. At least take a look at it. Study by chapter, key concepts, things like that. Carbon footprint calculator, that's pretty cool. So study by chapter. Let me just go to chapter 1. Essentials of Geography. So here's all the information for chapter 1. There's some videos. And then at the bottom, test yourself, chapter quiz. So after you maybe go through the PowerPoints, read the chapter, you can take a, do the homework. You could do this chapter quiz. Definitely do the chapter quiz before you take the actual quiz. So this is just a practice quiz. You get no points for this or anything. It's, after you've gone through and looked at the PowerPoint, read through the chapter, done the homework, maybe come here, take this quiz, see how you're doing, and then when you feel good about things, go and take the actual quiz. So again, this is for no points. You're not graded on this. You could do this as many times as you want to. This is just, you see it even says start over. This is just to see how well you're doing. And if you do well on these practice quizzes, you'll do well on the actual quiz. Trust me on that. Okay, going back to the class. Mastering Geography. Access Pearson Codeless. Now, if you probably have done that to register for the class. If you do this again, it'll take you to the class that has like the e-text, the study area, and all that together. So you can take a look at that. I won't do that now though. Okay, so play around with it. Okay, so you can't see this yet. It's hidden from you, but let me see what's in week 1. So week 1, Essentials of Geography. It says, please read chapter 1, take a look at the chapter 1 PowerPoint. Here's some learning goals. So hopefully after you go through all that information, you'll have touched on those different learning goals. Here's the PowerPoint you can take a look at. Here's chapter 1 review. Here's a link to homework 1. And then quiz 1, not available until Thursday. Well, let's, for the fun of it, see what homework 1 actually looks like. Now, you do get points for the homework. Okay, it's loading up here. And the first homework has like 15 questions, reading questions, things like that. So let's just look at the first one. Just so you see what it's like. I'm not going to answer it for you, but let's take a look at it. Typically, these are multiple choice. Which of the following methods is a characteristic of geography? Now, if you click View Available Hints, that doesn't take any points off or anything like that. You can take a look at the points, at the hints. It doesn't take any points off. And then you can answer the questions. You can hit Review here. It may take you to the correct section of the book that contains this information, so I'll leave that up to you. You don't have to do all the homework in one sitting. You could, read a little bit. Let me go take a look at the homework. Go through some of the homework questions at your leisure, however you want to do that. Okay, good. So usually it's multiple choice, and hopefully it's not too bad. All right, let's go back here. What else is in the week 1 module? Quiz 1. This won't be available until Thursday, but that should be like the last thing you do. Read through chapter 1, look at the PowerPoint, do the homework. Maybe even do the practice quiz. I showed you that. That was in the study area. And then you can do quiz 1. Okay. So what should you do first? Well, definitely get into Mastering Geography. as a review. How do you do that again? It's in the content area, mastering geography. Click on this link here. It should not ask you for a code. This is the new codeless way of doing it. And again, if you have not opted out, most people have not opted out. If you have not opted out, it might ask you for your Pearson information, and then you should be good to go. You should be able to go to the e-text and do the homework and all that sort of thing. Now, if you have opted out, then you're going to have to, pay right at the time, or click the little link that says get free access for 14 days or whatever it is. Okay, let me mention one other thing. Course home. Now, the old way of doing things was instructional materials. Here, I'm going to click this, and a code for the book would come up. There's some kind of glitch in their system that they're working on fixing, that you'll see modified mastering geography with Pearson eText. This should not be here. So you should, if you have this on yours, I don't know if you do or not, they haven't given me a direct answer. You don't need to use this. It's supposed to be codeless. You're not supposed to need any kind of code. So this is an artifact that should not be here, so you shouldn't have to click on that. Okay? I showed it to you just in case you accidentally came across it, but you shouldn't have to do anything with that. This is a different class I have. Now another class I have that is codeless, the book is not there, so that's why I'm saying it's some kind of glitch that they have. Okay? All right, get off to a good start. You have my email address. Hopefully things work out smoothly, and I'll be in touch with you. Talk to you later, and have a good semester.